Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Brandon and welcome to the final regular season game for the Norristown High boys basketball team. Tonight, the Eagles taking on the Patriots of Central Bucks East in their final Suburban 1 League National Conference Colonial Division matchup. The Eagles coming into this ball game 11-4 on the year in league play, 12-8 overall, but that all-important factor is the league record, 11-4. The only 4 Eagles losses coming this year, folks, to 2 teams. They've lost twice to Central Bucks West and twice to the league champion Abington Ghosts. And let me amend that, the Colonial Division champion Abington Ghosts, because they're not Suburban 1 League champions. And of course, the Abington Ghosts going into the district playoffs, a very highly favored team, but Norristown will also be in those playoffs. And hopefully we'll be able to bring you a game or 2 of those playoffs. We'll see as soon as we see where the seedings come out and who the Eagles will be playing this season. In this game tonight, however, the final regular season game here for the Norristown Eagles, we're going to be looking at a few seniors, I'm sure, out onto the floor, especially if Norristown gets a lead in this ball game. If you look at the records, folks, Norristown 11-4 in Suburban 1 League play, and the Patriots only 5-9, although they did give Norristown a good game out in Bucks County earlier this season when the Eagles went out there to play the Patriots. I have to call Norristown the favorite in tonight's ball game, simply by virtue of their records. Norristown is a quick team. We've seen them emerge and come together as a ball club this season. Stan Brown playing well from the point guard position. Ron Wells, I'm very impressed with him from his small forward position. He's a big scorer for John Cresswell, and the same has to be said of Ken Cool from the shooting guard spot. Ken Cool, just a sophomore, has played tremendously and has been a big scorer for the Eagles. And don't forget, down low where the Eagles don't have too much height, Terry Ellison, a senior, has done a good job, especially in recent games. He's been helped out down low by Darren Smith, by Rob Haynes, Jeff Thompson, Joel Jones, and a couple other fellas. And also Forrest Davis, who's done a good job as the third guard in most situations. Forrest started last year, as many of you know, with Stanley Brown in the backcourt, and kind of got pushed aside a little bit for Ken Cool in that starting position, but Forrest has been a good contributor off the bench, and I'm sure he's happy with that role this season and is happy that he's been able to contribute to the Eagles' success this year. Without further ado, let's go down to courtside and watch the Eagles take on the Central Bucks Patriots here in their final regular season game. Once again, folks, I'm Jeff Brandon, along with Walt Fry, hopefully soon to be joined by Alan Raleigh, although one can never tell with Mr. Raleigh's hectic and difficult schedule. I'd like to thank you folks for all those cards and letters helping me to recover from my horrible illness that kept me away from the last Norristown game. I'd like to introduce to you now, folks, some of the seniors on the Norristown squad. Frank Arena, Forrest Davis, Terry Ellison, Stacy Clark, and Ron Wells, along with Darren Smith. And don't forget Stanley Brown. Those are the senior Norristown folks playing in their last home game, regular season here at Norristown High School. And the starters for the Central Bucks East Patriots. Number 34, John Cook. Number 12, Brian Burns. Number 50, Chris Naughton. Number 52, Rick Candler. And number 14, Bruce Stankavage. Starting for the Eagles, number 10, Ron Wells. He's the small forward. Number 3, Stanley Brown at point guard. Number 4, Ken Cool, the shooting guard. Number 5, Darren Smith at forward. And starting at center, Joel Jones. Of course, the Eagles will be in their home white uniforms. The Central Bucks East Patriots will be in the blue uniforms. To begin this ball game, the Eagles will be traveling left to right on your screen. Once again, the Eagles 11-4 in Colonial Division play this season. And Walt, quite an improvement over what we saw initially this season. Norristown started out with 3 straight losses, an unheard of situation, but they've rebounded tremendously to have a fine season, I think. East wins the tap. It's taken by number 50, Chris Naughton. They go inside to Naughton. He's got the turnaround. It's partially blocked by Ron Wells, and Joel Jones comes away with it for Norristown. Stanley Brown sets up the offense in the backcourt for Norristown. Bruce Stankiewicz, the star for the Patriots, has Stanley Brown on a man-to-man defense right now by the Patriots. Ron Wells picks it up off the baseline. No shot there, but Wells does draw the foul.
You mentioned the man-to-man. That's interesting. That's something I don't think we've seen yet this year. Most teams going zones, and CB East comes out here the man-to-man.
You're right. That is not something you see too often in high school play, unless you've got an extremely quick team. John Cook committed the foul that last time, and Ronnie Wells will be shooting 2. Wells drops the first for the first point of the ball game. Wells makes 2, and the Eagles are up on top, 2-0. In the backcourt for the Patriots, number 12, Brian Burns. He's the small guard. With him, number 34, John Cook. Stankiewicz has the ball in the far corner. He's it forward. Short that time from Burns. Ron Wells pushes the ball up court. He's 1 on 3. Forced a shot. Won't go. They tap the ball around. Nobody can come up with it. Finally, Darren Smith comes away with it and kicks the ball out to Kenny Cool. Nice play by Smith.
A great hustle. There were 3 CB East guys around him, and he still came out with the ball.
Ron Wells, however, loses the handle. Ball falls on the end line, so it'll go back the Patriots' way. Once again, 6:52 to play in the first quarter. 2-0 Eagles. Air ball from John Cook. Stanley Brown outlets to Wells. That was an interesting looking play, but they all count the same. Wells now with the Eagles 4 points. CB East yet to get on the board. There's a nice shot from Brian Burns, number 12. 4-2 Norristown.
Still, CB East looks as if they're rushing their shots.
Ken Cool takes it on the baseline. They double team Cool. Back at the Brown. Wells, nice move inside. Really used his body well that time for position, and he's got Norristown 6 points. 6-2 Eagles. Stankiewicz drives the baseline, kicks it out. Nice pass that time to Rick Candler. I'll tell you what, between Candler and Naughton, they got some bruisers out there. Those guys look like twins. And I take any bets that they are also on the football team. Burns throws the ball away. Joel Jones comes away with it. Ron Wells again. So Ron Wells 8, Central Bucks 2, with 5:31 to play in the first quarter. Burns travels with the ball. He hits the ground. And Walt, it seems to me that Brian Burns is having some problems here controlling the offense for Central Bucks.
He's just not waiting. He's always forcing his passes.
Cool takes the shot. No, won't go. Wells with the rebound. Turnaround off the glass, won't go. Darren Smith with a heck of a rebound. They call over the top on Smith. Well, he ripped that ball out of the hands of number 50, Chris Naughton. The Patriots have yet to get Bruce Stankiewicz into the offense with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Inside to Naughton. He dishes off to Candler, who hits the deck. Jump ball on the possession hour. It'll be Norristown's ball.
Who tied him up? Stanley?
I don't know.
Who tied him up underneath?
Meanwhile, Stan Brown drives the lane. He gets fouled. Norristown will inbound.
They get the ball into Brown in the backcourt. Wells looks for some help. And he's still in that man-to-man defense. Stanley Brown off the turnaround, won't go. There's a nice rebound by Smith, but he loses it to Candler, who outlets the ball to number 34, John Cook. Burns misses another one. They fight for the board. Naughton comes away with it, pushes off, and he makes one off the glass. It was an ugly basket, but East will take it. They're down 8-4 with 4:17 to play in the first quarter. Ron Wells, long shot, won't go. Cool with a nice rebound. Burns couldn't control it. Way outside, no, won't go. Darren Smith, good position. Foul's going to be on number 14, Bruce Stankiewicz. Fighting for position inside that time, and Darren Smith has had good position so far in this ball game, Walt.
In the middle of the season, in a couple games, we saw him. He was rebounding well, and now he's starting it up again. He was injured for a little while.
And Ken Cool is ice cold here, Walt. Can't hit from the outside. Another one short for him. There's a travel, it looked like. Now they're going to say he tied him up. That was a tough call. Ken Cool called for reaching in there. Got a little piece of number 34, John Cook. 3:41 to play in the first quarter. I'm Jeff Brandon along with Walt Fry. This game being brought to you by the Norristown Area School District. Stankiewicz. Nice inside basket by number 52, Rick Candler. I'm telling you, take a quick glimpse, you can't tell Candler and Naughton apart. Eight to 6 the score. Norristown has gone cold in the shooting department. Ron Wells has all 8 of the Eagles' points. Nobody else can get the ball on target. If I were John Cresswell, I'd give it back to him. Cool makes one. It's only a matter of time. 10-6. Nice pass that time by Cook. Inside. Candler can't get it to fall, but he draws the foul. Bob Walsh, head coach at Central Bucks East.
Into the game for Darren Smith, number 20, Terry Ellison.
And Ellison has played well recently, Walt. Doing a good job inside and in the scoring department also. Candler misses the first attempt. He goes 1 for 2. So bump the score up 1. It's 10-7 Norristown. Got Wells on the baseline again. Wow. Ron Wells from 20 feet. Drops it home, 12-7 Norristown.
He nailed that shot. The man right in his face, I guess that he didn't think he was going to take it.
Stankiewicz whips a pass down low. And Joel Jones will commit the foul. And once again, Candler will go to the line, shooting 2. 2:12 to play in the first quarter.
So far, Norristown's done a good job on defense. They're double teaming the ball. And then that time, CV East found the open man, but they still denied the basket.
It was a heck of a pass by Stankiewicz. Candler makes the first. I tell you, neither team has been particularly outstanding from the field, except for the obvious exception of Ron Wells. But I am impressed with the passing of the Patriots. Candler once again 50% from the line. It's 12-8. Candler has 4. Kenny Cool can't get one to drop. Nice rebound by Ellison. He misses the follow-up. Will take another one. And this time it drops through for him. So Terry Ellison battling underneath. The follow-up on Ken Coole's missed jumper. They go inside to Naughton. Nice pass to Candler. He has 6. 14-10. Norristown by 4 with 1:43 to play in the first quarter. Shot won't go from the outside. Stanley Brown tries to dish off to Ellison. Nice anticipation by Chris Naughton, and he picks the ball off. Stankiewicz, his first jumper, won't go. Foul on the play. Ron Wells is fouled by number 52, Rick Candler.
So far, you mentioned CB's size, but they're not really that tall. And Norristown does have a lot of leapers and good rebounders, and Norristown's out rebounding them so far.
Actually, I think Joel Jones is the tallest player out there. In fact, I'm sure he is. But Candler and Naughton are a little bit wider. There's that traveling call against Stanley Brown. I'll tell you, last year we really gave Stanley grief for that. He would do that once a game or so, or whenever. Hasn't happened this year, folks. Stanley Brown is a much better player this year than as a junior. No question about it. Nice block by Joel Jones. Candler misses twice. Norristown comes away. 3-on-2. Wells on the right side. Travel. Stanley Brown tried to get the ball to Wells coming down the right wing, but they did a good job of filling the hole there.
And down on Norristown's defensive end, that was a good no call by the ref and a good block, because there's a lot of bumping inside, but still not enough to be called a foul.
Terry Ellison with quick hands. Nice play that time on Stankiewicz. Messes up his rhythm inside. Stankiewicz tries to grab the ball back and knocks it out of bounds. So with a turnover, Norristown will take possession. 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Eagles still maintaining that 4-point lead, 14-10. 19 seconds. The Eagles give it to Wells. Penetrates. Nice play by Ron Wells. He's got 10. Make that 12 in the first quarter with 8 seconds to play here. 16-10 Norristown. Ron Wells, an outstanding first quarter. Burns goes inside, loses the ball.
I'm sure CBs can vouch for this. It's really tough to stick a guy when he's very quick and he can hit a jumper and he can also drive. You just never know what he's going to do.
Stay in the air. Stanley Brown hits the rim on a buzzer beater, won't go. So keep the score at 16-10 after one quarter. Norristown in control, but neither team really dominating this ball game. Nobody's shooting the lights out, certainly. Of course, this game brought to you by the Norristown Area School District. We'd like to thank Mr. Sam Galbraith for producing and directing our program tonight. Also like to mention, fans, that Norristown will be in the district playoffs, obviously, with their fine Suburban 1 League National Conference Colonial Division record. So watch the Times Herald for notices about when that game will be, that first playoff game. And come on out and support the Norristown Eagles. Well, this is a team that's matured together this year, I think. They've played increasingly well this season. You take away the not so beautiful looking games against Abington, but nobody has done it to Abington this season. Abington's a fine team this year and with the superior talent. But take that away from the Norristown season, and they've played extremely well.
I think the first game I said that Stan Brown would be the key and that he would have to be a very good ball handler for Norristown to have a good season. And he has gotten under control, and he's been a very good ball handler. But everyone else has really come on. Ken Cole is expected to score, and he has scored. Ron Wells is doing a lot of scoring. He's something like 5th in the area, 17.5 points a game. And they found some centers, 3 of them that they're rotating in and out.
Nice play by Brown. Kicks the ball in, but Burns comes away with it. They got down low to Candler, gets Ellison in the air. Joel Jones goes up with him. Jones doesn't like the call, but it was a foul. Jones has to calm down. He went up with him and made a lot of contact. That was a foul. Forrest Davis is in the ball game. And Jones is going to take a seat on the bench. He'll be replaced by number 21, Stacy Clark. So Davis, Clark, Ellison, Wells, and Brown, all seniors in the ball game right now for Norristown. I'm sure that's not by coincidence. That makes the only senior not to play yet Frank Arena, and I'm sure we'll see Frank before this game is over. Candler makes the second, cuts the Norristown lead to 5, and Forrest Davis will bring the ball up court for Norristown. With Cool out of the ball game, Brown moves to the shooting guard spot. Nice ball movement by the Eagles. Wells shot is long, won't go. Good position by Chris Naughton for that rebound. And Walt Stankiewicz has got to get into the flow here for East. Stankiewicz has barely even touched the ball in this game.
They've done a great job on him when he has.
Stanley Brown is all over him. Absolutely all over Bruce Stankiewicz. It's kind of obvious the way the Norristown defense is working that Stanley Brown's job is Bruce Stankiewicz. Nice shot by Burns. Good movement, puts it up over Stacy Clark. The rest of the Norristown squad is playing zone defense, but Stanley Brown is shadowing Bruce Stankiewicz, and he's done extremely well. Little miscommunication there. Davis throws the ball away, so it'll be Patriots coming back the other way. They're down by 3, 16-13, as Chris Naughton takes a seat on the bench, and Tony Shemisku comes into the ball game, number 40. Wells, what a play! I can't believe this. Oh! Brown tries a behind-the-back pass to Forrest Davis. Not quite there. Ron Wells is amazing. That last play, he swatted the ball away as it's going out of bounds, jumps up in the air, saves it into Stanley Brown. They have the breakaway, and Brown and Davis just can't connect on the pass.
Norristown's getting great anticipation from their players, and they know they're going to give it to Stankiewicz, and they're forcing it to him. And Norristown's doing a great job of getting there and filling the passing lanes. They did it again.
East turns the ball over. Stacy Clark comes with it. Davis, nice penetration. Shot won't go. Clark with the rebound. Shot won't go. So the Eagles fail to convert. That was a tough call. Stanley Brown went after that ball, knocked it out off of Stankiewicz. Looked like it might have been a foul against Stanley, but no call. So the Eagles get a break.
Ron Wells dumped off to Terry Ellison. Ellison missed a shot, but it's followed up by Stacy Clark, I believe.
Oh! Stacy Clark committed himself too soon there. Nice play by Stankiewicz, Walt. Bruce held on just long enough. Stacy Clark was Superman out there. He was airborne. Came down right on top of Bruce Stankiewicz.
Stankiewicz up at the line, trying to get into the scoring column. He does with the foul shot. Rolls the second one in.
And Walt, the shooting percentage for Norristown doesn't seem to be overwhelming tonight. And in that Abington game, they shot something like 35%. There's no way you're going to win against the Ghosts shooting 35%. They might be able to get away with it against these guys, though. I don't know.
But they're rebounding, and against Abington, they didn't rebound their missed shots. Here they're rebounding, they're converting on the rebounds. Norristown, good ball movement, looking for the open shot. They tried to go to Stacy Clark, but he's knocked away by Naughton. Stankiewicz gets his first basket from the field.
And they have to slow him down right now. They can't let him get into the flow of the offense. You see Stankiewicz just turn on the burners down there by the basket, blew right by Forrest Davis. Not exactly the slowest guy out there.
Ron Wells hits again from the corner. 16 points. We have 4.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
Ron Wells, 16 of 20 for Norristown.
Don't think he wants to have a big game his last regular season game, huh? And Ken Cool will come back in, replacing Forrest Davis. Stankavich tries to create his own offense. He's knocked away.
Yeah, they could have put Chris Naughton in jail for the way he grabbed Terry Ellison, but no foul is called.
They knocked the ball away from John Cook.
Patriots get a break there.
Cook will shoot air ball, way long.
Nice screen, terrible shot. Had a wide open shot.
Stan Brown brings it up.
Boom.
Ken Cool, a little bit short. Burns tried to save it, out of bounds.
Burns says, what about the push to the official? But I agree with the official's call. He was on the line when the call was made.
Bromwell's up in the air. Nice look to Ken Cool. Wide open. He won't miss that much. Naughton missed. On the rebound, the foul was on number 40, Tony Shemisku of CB East. Norristown up by 5, only shooting 10 of 24, however. But as I said, the rebounding has been very good.
Of course, the other 2 points coming on free throws by Ron Wells to begin the ball game, the first 2 points of the game.
Stacy Clark, a little bit out of rhythm, you might say, put up an air ball on the free throw.
Perhaps one of the more embarrassing things to do when you're a senior in your last game. He's got a smile on his face, though, so he's all right. No emotional scars or anything.
He'll come out and laugh that one off a little bit. Terry Ellison will replace him. Stankavich swings to Burns, who goes right to Candler.
Nice ball movement that time.
It's tough to stop a guy that big when he's coming right in on you.
He could do anything he wanted inside as far as I was concerned. I would be concerned.
It's just up to him to put the ball in. Ron Wells swings to Ken Cool. They give it to Brown up top. Brown spins off Cook. Holds it to Wells. Beautiful move.
Oh!
Great spin move by Wells on the baseline. Went in for the wide open layup. CB's defenders just frozen.
Wells has played incredibly well tonight. 18 points. That last move, folks, well, I hope we caught all that because that was beautiful.
Stankavich, nothing but net.
Stankavich was 6 now.
Came off a little screen, hit the jumper. 24-21, 2:20 to go in the first half. Ken Cool, he's double teamed. Look for somewhere to go, find Stan Brown. Cool moves on Cook.
Man.
Nice shot. Cool spun right off Cook into the lane.
These Patriots are big, Walt, but they're glued to the floor. Norristown's just rolling right around them now. Those last 2 plays by Cool and Wells are fantastic.
Candler gets a basket and he's fouled
by Frank Arena. So all the seniors have made it into the ball game here tonight. Arena enters the contest and he commits the foul.
And we just saw that play a little while ago when they'll swing it up to the top and the guy will go right down inside the Candler.
Candler's got 11 points tonight. Another substitution. Naughton took a seat on the bench. And number 54, Mike Russo, entered the ball game.
Candler missed the shot. Wells couldn't handle it. Candler's got it again.
It's a nice hustle by Cook. Come away with that rebound.
Stankavich with a fake. Nice fake, but he can't get the shot to go.
Terry Ellison came down with that last rebound.
Dan Brown, beautiful penetration.
Tell you what, Norristown's putting it into high gear right now.
He just knifed in between Mike Russo and another CB's defender.
Boy, these guys, Norristown is playing with some excitement tonight. Some great moves.
All over Stankiewicz, he's got nowhere to go.
Another big call for the Eagles there. Inside, Russo got his feet tied up, and he's called for traveling. Had good position that time for the rebound, but couldn't get his feet.
Just under a minute left. Norristown up by 5. Stan Brown with the jumper. Missed, long rebound, controlled by Wells. He's stripped by Burns, and Burns comes away with it. Up to Stankiewicz.
Nice control by Bruce Stankiewicz.
He's got 8.
You can see his ability. He just glided in there, used his body. Ken Cool ran right in front of him. It's like he wasn't even there. Rolled it in.
And that's the way you should run the break.
Absolutely. Young man's got a lot of talent.
Stan Brown will hold it out for the last shot. 13 seconds left. Norristown 28, CB East 25. Ken Cool missed the jumper. Frank Arena with the rebound. He tries to turn around, no good. Russo grabbed the rebound, nowhere to go with it. And the first half ends. Norristown 28, CB East 25.
And I'll be back in just a moment with a recap of this first half of play. At halftime, Norristown ahead 28-25 in this ball game. Perhaps a little bit tighter ball game than maybe you or I expected from the Central Bucks East Patriots. Norristown started out early and fast with Ron Wells putting the first 8 points on the board, and Wells didn't stop, folks. He shot 8 for 13 in that first half, scoring 18 of Norristown's 28 points. A fantastic first half for Ron Wells. Ronnie also added 6 rebounds to those 18 points for an exceptional first half for him. And rounding out the Eagles scoring, Terry Ellison with a bucket for 2 points, Ken Cool 6 points, and Stanley Brown with a pair. The only Eagles scorers so far in this ball game. And overall, Norristown shot a rather lackluster 13 for 32. So you take away the outstanding performance of Ron Wells, and the Eagles aren't in very good shape. But Wells is playing extremely well, and the Eagles do have a 3-point advantage. But I am impressed with the way the Patriots are playing the ball down low and using their big men inside to get some easy shots. So far in this ball game, Rick Candler, one of their big guys, with 11 points. He leads them in scoring. Bruce Stankiewicz, who really wasn't into the flow of the ball game at all until the second quarter, has now upped his total to 8 points. Brian Burns from the guard position with 4, and Chris Naughton also down low with 2 points. So very limited scoring. We haven't seen too many substitutions, especially for the Patriots. Norristown's John Cresswell has had all of his seniors into the ball game already, so that's nice to see that each of those fellows got to play here in their final home contest. In the second half, I look for Norristown maybe to play a little bit more aggressive defense. We haven't seen anything of the press so far in this ball game. I wouldn't be surprised to see Norristown try and put a little bit of pressure on the backcourt of the Central Bucks Patriots. If Norristown comes out strong here in this second half, look for the Patriots to try something similar. Norristown has been susceptible to the press in the past, but I do think they have come a long way in defeating that, and I think a lot of that has to do with the outstanding play of Stanley Brown in recent games. Brown has matured a great deal as a ball handler, and that shows in his ability to beat the press. An interesting first half, a very quick and fast-paced first half, not too many stoppages of play. It should be an exciting second half of play. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back with that second half.
Back here at Norristown, second half of play about to begin. Norristown with a 28-25 halftime lead. Ken Cool inbounds to Stan Brown. Norristown will be going to the left, CB's to the right. They go right to Wells again for his 20th points of the night. He misses short. Stankovic brings it up. Into the lane, double pumps. He's got the basket and he's fouled. Looks like maybe they're trying to get him into the offense a little bit.
Well, that's the way to do it. Stankovic with 10.
Ties up the game.
First time tonight since we were at double zeros.
Bruce Stankovic to three-point play. Norristown will look to regain the lead.
Oh!
Ron Wells right over John Cook. Wells hasn't cooled off any. He's got 20. Good position inside by Joel Jones. They go right up to Wells. Wells with the layup.
And Bob Walsh is probably saying, why did number 10 show up tonight?
And Norristown saying, thank God he did.
That's right. Nice position by Darren Smith there to cut that
Find Cook
baseline off.
wide open. Jones comes over, avoids a foul, but Cook gets the basket.
His first two of the night, Walt.
Dan Brown will take the jumper. He cans it. Stankovic again. Into the lane, double pump between two men.
We're going to have to deny him the ball here.
Ken Cool, the long jumper.
Wait, Ken Cool has really been off target tonight.
He didn't have a good game against Abington either.
Nice.
Saves by Cook. And a little bit of ball movement. They get it to Naughton. He ties up the game.
That was a heck of a play by Cook to keep that ball in play.
Ron Wells wide open. Wells at halftime was 8 for 13. I believe he's 1 for 3 now in the... Or, excuse me, 2 for 3 in the second half. Stankovic drives.
Offensive foul, Darren Smith with position. They call Stankovic for the foul. Bob Walsh disagrees, but
Stankovic there tried to force the baseline. Darren Smith cut it off nicely.
this game has been pretty evenly paced. I mean, no full court pressure. Teams are just bringing the ball up, setting up their offense. Another foul. 52. Candler called for the blocking foul.
Wow. Wells was open for a moment. Faked John Cook into the air. Got a much easier shot, and of course he made it.
Ron Wells, 26 points. He's got 8 points already in this second half.
And at halftime, he also had 6 rebounds. CB West trying to swing the ball for an open shot. Almost threw it away. Cook gets it. Naughton took it right away from Candler.
It was a nice look by Burns.
Dan Brown misses the jumper. Good rebound by Joel Jones. And he gets the layup. Great work inside there. He's out of position. Still got the rebound, avoiding the foul.
And Stanley Brown is hurt, folks. He came off of that shot, stumbled, and his shin, it looks like, or his ankle's giving him problems. He's got it all bandaged up already. Forrest Davis comes into the ball game, replaces him. Stanley is in some pain over there on the bench.
Well, he missed the game against North Penn a little while ago. John Cook didn't know where to go, decided to take it himself. Traveled with the ball. Forrest Davis in for Stan Brown. He'll be the ball handler now. Over there looking at Brown's ankle. Meanwhile, Cool drives baseline. Nice shot by Ken Cool running.
Ken said, wait a minute, Ron, you're not the only one who can score. Timeout called by the Central Bucks Patriots. Well, this game is moving on at a nice clip here. Now hopefully somebody will blow it wide open. We won't have all these fouls at the end of the game that keep us here forever. I'd like to remind you this game is brought to you by the Norristown Area School District. Mr. Tony Coye, Director of Communications, Mr. Sam Galbraith, producing and directing our show tonight. I'm Jeff Brandon along with Walt Fry, bringing you Norristown High boys basketball. This is our last regular season game for the 86-87 season. It's been our pleasure to bring you Norristown High basketball this season. We're not yet sure whether we're going to be bringing you any playoff action this season. It's always a debatable issue as to allowing cameras to videotape those games for rebroadcast. But don't forget to look for the times of those games and the announcements so that you can come out and support the Eagles in person, whether or not you can watch on the Norristown High cable channel.
And after that timeout, Darren Smith into the game. Got a foul off the ball.
Forrest Davis called for holding Bruce Stankiewicz.
Just trying to keep him away from the ball. Norristown now on a man-to-man also.
Yeah, Davis has the responsibility of Stankiewicz.
Burns missed his shot. Stankiewicz got the rebound. Went up, Joel Jones fouled him.
Now they call Darren Smith with the foul. And Stankiewicz with his second opportunity for a three-point play here in this second half. Substitution. Naughton goes out. Shemisku comes back into the ball game. Number 34, John Cook, with a lane violation on the shot by Stankiewicz, so no shot. And Norristown will have possession of the ball. Just a little mental error there by John Cook. Stanley Brown has that ankle iced up on the Norristown bench.
Forrest Davis right there, trying to go by Stankiewicz, missed a shot.
I don't think Stanley's going to be back in. He's got that thing iced up, sneaker off.
Cook goes between Wells and Cool.
Changed hands nicely. Cook with the basket.
Ron Wells calls the play. Ken Cool jumper. A little bit short. Let's rebound by Shemisku. Stankiewicz missed the shot, but they got the foul. Terry Ellison was going to come in. Norristown calls timeout.
John Cresswell using his first timeout of the night. 4-point Norristown lead. They led by 3 at the half. They led by 6 after 1. A relatively consistent game here. Not the most exciting basketball game I've ever seen, but relatively well played. Not a lot of fouling. Not a great many turnovers. Some missed shots, no doubt, but Ron Wells, what a night. 26 points. Wow.
He's definitely outshining Bruce Stankiewicz, who has 15. He started scoring lately.
Does Wells have any college prospects, or are you looking at him, or is he going anywhere?
Stankiewicz missed his first foul shot.
Obviously not Division I. He's a little bit too small for that.
Terry Ellison did come into the game. Stankiewicz gets the second. 42-39, Norristown.
Darren's only got about 6 inches on him and about 10 inches vertical.
Cool, finds Wells. Boris Davis with the jumper. He cans it. Boris Davis, the ability to just jump over most people.
You take one good look at those rock-solid thighs, you can understand why.
Playing very well. John Cook tries to drive. Forrest Davis came in from behind. Got some ball, but also a piece of Cook's arm, and he'll go to the line.
Oh, come on. What's a little bit of arm once in a while when you make a foul? These refs have no sense of humor. That's what you call getting the roll.
Ball just sat up there for a little while. Finally dropped in for Cook.
Get Frank Winkle out here to tell us about the physics of that last shot.
Got the second one a little bit easier.
Cook now with 6 points in the ball game.
Foul shooting has been an adventure. Not many ones going in clean.
Yeah, that was kind of a given when Ron Wells took it to the lane and dangled up in the air there. 28 points for Wells.
Now Terry Ellison's the one hounding Bruce Stankiewicz, and he's doing a good job of it. They try to force it inside. Stankiewicz on the floor, picks up and bounces out to Byrne. Ill-advised pass there, Ron Wells.
Stankiewicz finally got the hoop. He's got 17, but that was an interesting exchange there. We had bodies all over the place. Wells picked off the pass, was falling out of bounds, saved the ball, only to have it to East taken away from him. Kenny Cool with the basket with 20 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Unbelievable shot. He was bumped in between two people in front of the foul line. Kind of just double pumped it and threw it up and it got the roll.
10 seconds to play. They're going to try for the last one. Oh, man. Stankiewicz. Underhand shot. The rebound won't go. They fight for it, and the quarter ends 48-43. So the Eagles add 2 points to their lead. It's a 48-43 5-point Norristown advantage. That was interesting that last time down there. Burns took a look at the clock. There were 10 to go. You can hear Bob Walsh say, easy, Brian, easy. They give it to Stankiewicz. He goes down the right side of the lane with a scoop shot. He was falling to the ground, almost went in. They got the rebound, went up for it, missed it again. They hammered Norristown inside, but couldn't get another shot up before the buzzer. Eagle cheerleaders out on the floor.
This game is 5 points, certainly not out of reach, but CB East has had trouble closing the gap the whole game. In the beginning of the third quarter, they closed it a little bit. In fact, they got it to a tie, but now Norristown pulled away a little bit.
A little bit better shooting in that quarter, Walt. Norristown 10 for 15 from the floor, and the Patriots 7 for 12. So both teams coming into their own a little bit from the shooting side. It's been a well-played game. I guess there's just not that tension there. I mean, it's not Abington, it's not for the championship, and you know, it's the last game of the season, and for either team, it really doesn't have that great of a difference. Stankiewicz made that last hoop for the Patriots. Norristown almost throws it away. Kenny Cool saves it. It's Cool and Wells, along with Davis, Smith, and Ellison.
That time Wells just went driving to his left, flying to his left. He made the shot, and he'll go to the line.
And a chance for a three-point play. Ron Wells with 30 of Norristown's 50 points. 7:27 remaining in this game. The Eagles up by 5. Wells with a chance to make it 6, and he does. 31 points for Ron Wells. But a quiet 31 points.
Wow. Almost denied the pass there. Big bodies banging inside.
They said that ball hit off of Kenny Cool while he was out of bounds. One leg in, one leg out, so East keeps possession that time. CB East playing a little bit out of control there, Walt, throwing the ball around, but not really getting a good shot. Although Naughton came barreling in and couldn't get the layup. Stankiewicz. Oh, nice baseline movement, and even nicer block by Terry Ellison. The travel is the call. Well, that was tough. Forrest Davis trying to come out of that crowd, travels with it. Nice block by Ellison, though, on Stankiewicz.
Well, that's one of Ellison's roles. He's a good defensive player. Time to time, it shows some scoring ability. The one game he had 13.
John Cook just looked away. Brian Burns went to give him the ball, and John said, "Oh, sorry." Didn't even touch it. Right out of bounds, and the Eagles come away with it.
Ellison's a great defensive player, and he's a good rebounder.
And once again, if you just tuned in, Stanley Brown is on the bench with an ice pack on his ankle. He injured it. Coming down off of a jump shot, Terry Ellison. Nice move down the lane. Can't get the layup to go, however. Off the heel of the rim, no good.
Darren Smith almost got crushed there by Candler.
Stankiewicz follows his own missed shot, and it falls for him. He's got 20 all of a sudden, make it 21. There's Stankiewicz with a steal off of Ron Wells. Make it 23. And a 2-point game all of a sudden. Norristown seemed to be opening up a little bit, but Bruce Stankiewicz by himself closed it to 2 points. 5:48 to play. They dish off. Wow, no call inside. Ellison off the pass from Forrest Davis. Stankiewicz is slow getting up. And we've got an official's timeout here. Ken Cool hit the middle. He and Stankiewicz, and who was the other player? Was that John Cook? All hit the floor. Stankiewicz was the last one to get up, however. Had his bell rung, I think, a little bit. No foul on the play. And Bruce is going to take a seat on the bench, and I think wisely so. Replacing him, number 22, Jason Criney. And that's not what Bob Walsh needed at this juncture. With 5:30 to play in the game, Bruce Stankiewicz, Division I material, folks, 23 points. And he's out of the ball game.
Yeah, that's tough for CBs. He was just starting to get hot, and they closed the gap to 2.
He was on fire. And the Eagles come away with the basket. Ellison got the hoop finally for Norristown. Davis. Basket's good, and a foul on Criney. It shows you what the difference can be. Stankiewicz out.
That was a beautiful break. Looks like Norristown was a little bit outmanned there on that break. There are 4 CBE's players coming back. It was just Cool and Davis. Cool looked to his left and went to his right, found Davis, and Davis got the hoop and go to the line.
5:09 to play. It's a 6-point Norristown lead, 55-49. 7 points as Forrest Davis knocks the free throw. 56-49.
Stankovic is ready to come back in.
Not a smart foul by Darren Smith. Croney went up for the shot, way short. But Smith got a part of his arm, so he'll go to the line shooting 2. And Stankovic will be coming back into the ball game, I'm sure, as soon as Jason Croney finishes with these free throws. He puts the first one through. Joel Jones re-enters the ball game. Darren Smith takes a seat for the Patriots. Russo comes back into the ball game, and number 40, Tony Shemiskas, leaves the game. Croney makes both. Substitution. So Jason Croney knocks home 2 free throws, and he leaves the ball game. Bruce Stankovic comes back in. 4:44 to play in this ball game. 5-point Norristown lead, 56-51. Wells travels. A little false start there as Wells went to the baseline. It's a turnover for the Eagles. Stankovic right away. They give it to him for the shot off the baseline. Terry Ellison commits the foul. First thing I've seen Bruce Stankovic do wrong all night. He misses a free throw. I guess after you get your bell rung, you're allowed to miss 1 of 2 free throws. It's a 4-point Eagle lead.
Norristown will probably look back to Wells here. Trying to get him back.
Foul on the play as Forrest Davis dished off. Foul was on number 12, Brian Burns. We're in the penalty situation. Forrest Davis will be at the line shooting 1 and 1.
Davis did go to Wells, and Wells had the lane to the basket. But Davis was fouled before he got it to him.
Davis makes the first, so he'll get the bonus. 57-52. Pace is slowing down here a bit with 4:11 to play in the game, as a little bit more fouling going on as we come down the stretch. Davis makes both.
You know, it's strange, Jeff. We haven't seen any of the other 2 centers besides Joel Jones, Rob Haynes, and Jeff Thompson. Jones has been out of the game, but just other people like Stacey Clark and Terry Ellison replaced him.
That shot by Naughton from the outside was way short. He somehow manages to come up with that rebound and gets it to Bruce Stankovic, who clears it out and sets up the offense again.
It took a while for everybody to get up there. A lot of people down.
Stankovic short, won't go. Naughton with the rebound. Turnaround, banks it off the glass, and it's good. 58-54. Kenny Cool off the heel of the rim, won't go. And the Patriots come away with the rebound. Chance to close it to 2. Naughton again. Won't go. Ron Wells. Patriots ball. That time they fought for that rebound, knocked it out. Forrest Davis touched it. So the Patriots will retain possession. You can see what the game plan is. It's give the ball to Bruce Stankovic. And there's a foul down low finally against the Patriots. Russo is called for pushing off inside. Stankiewicz missed that shot there. And I'm sorry, as I just started to say, it seems to be bring the ball in and give it to Bruce and see what he can do with it.
Joel Jones had the position. It's just a natural reaction to push and try and get that rebound, but they caught him. See, Ron Wells must have had the position because he's at the line. Maybe Jones had the position too. I don't know.
That could be. Wells makes the first. Gee, what does Ron have now? Ooh, only 32 points. Wells misses one. Terry Ellison commits a foul that Norristown didn't want to give up. Here's where the game gets long, folks. We start pacing the floor here, shooting free throws with 3 minutes to play. These guys were doing real well here through 3 quarters. Very fast paced to that point. And Russo at the line, shooting 1 and 1. Russo bangs the first one. That was a brick. Off the heel of the rim, and Norristown comes away with it. Wells, he wants to take it into his hands. You can tell that, folks.
Yeah, he did.
Forrest Davis. That was about 7 steps, Forrest. Actually, Davis thought he had the dribble there, but he picked it up a little bit too soon. They call him for traveling.
Still, you saw some of that explosive quickness there, just right by the CB's defender.
Naughton from the baseline, short. Ron Wells, good position and a nice rebound. And you can tell that the Eagles miss Stanley Brown a little bit as far as ball control is concerned. Not that Davis isn't doing a good job, but you can see a lot more responsibility gets placed on Wells to bring the ball up court. Eagles miss one shot. Ellison gets the rebound and trying to shift for position. The foul is committed, I believe that was number 50, Chris Naughton.
And nice job by Ellison. He crashed the boards along the baseline and grabbed the rebound. And then he shifted his body back, trying to get the CB's defender behind him. And he did and got the foul.
And Rick Kindler re-enters the ball game. He's got 11 points. But very importantly, all 11 points came in the first half. He has yet to score here in the second half. Russo leaves. Ellison misses the front end. Stankiewicz, it's a 5-point game, 59-54 Norristown, 2 minutes to play. Burns, won't go. Joel Jones, good position, nice rebound, he throws it away. Forrest Davis with a nice steal. Oh, that's a tough call. Naughton stole the pass off of a nice Joel Jones rebound. Then Forrest Davis picks his pocket, throws it off Naughton's leg, and the Eagles have the ball right back. 1:45 to play. Wells drives the lane. Won't go. Terry Ellison, nice rebound, turnaround, and he's hammered by John Cook. 1:39 to play. Still a 5-point game. 59-54. Ron Wells, 32 points for Norristown. Ken Cool with 10. Stanley Brown, 4. Forrest Davis, 7 points off the bench. Joel Jones with a pair, and Terry Ellison with 4 points.
Once again, we saw great work inside by Norristown. It's just terrific positioning and great leaping. And they're getting to the line for it.
Ellison having a tough time from the free throw line here in this fourth quarter. Ellison rolls 1 of 2 in. Make the Eagle lead 6 points, 60-54. Stankiewicz puts it up from the free throw line, won't go. Davis with the rebound. They got some pressure down here, but Norristown beats it easily. Nice move by Cool. Nice move with the left hand. Shot won't go. Joel Jones with the rebound. His follow-up won't go, but he's fouled on the shot. It was a pretty move by Kenny Cool there. Quick fake, and he was right around Brian Burns.
Yeah, all these Norristown players can penetrate when given the opportunity. It's not always their role to do that. Joel Jones was the first free throw. Second one is short.
So the Eagles having some problems from the line here in the waning moments of this game. Burns got himself in trouble there. Oh, I tell you, he comes away luckily with a rebound but misses the shot. And the Eagles race it out with Forrest Davis down the right side. Davis tried to shoot a pass through to Ron Wells, but it was low and quick, and Wells couldn't handle it. We're under a minute, 58 seconds to play, and the scoring has sort of died out here, Walt. Timeout, Central Bucks East. Bob Walsh wants to talk it over with his fellas. 54 seconds in this game. The Patriots with 54 points, the Eagles with 60.
You know, last time the CBs had the ball on their offensive end, Norristown did a great job. They had three men surrounding Burns, and he was trapped. But Norristown players didn't move. They just held their ground, and Burns had nowhere to go, and Norristown got the turnover. Norristown just probably discussing some defensive strategies. Might try to load up on Stankiewicz here. Doesn't seem like anyone else has even been able to make anything. It's even slightly difficult shot.
.54 seconds to play.
Norristown with a small lineup out there now. Ken Cool and Forrest Davis. Terry Ellison probably the biggest one. Ron Wells and Darren Smith also in there.
Burns. They set the play to Stankiewicz. Ellison's all over him. Not what you wanted to do, Terry. Tight defense is one thing, but being inside his uniform's another. Foul on Ellison. Stankiewicz goes to the line. He'll shoot 1 and 1. And that's what they wanted. It only took them 4 seconds to get to the line. They can draw it close here as Stankiewicz makes the first. If they can draw it to within 4, Walt, they'll still have plenty of time to commit a foul or two. The way Norristown's been at the line, they've got a great shot at getting the ball back. Bruce makes them both, so it's a 4-point game. They get it out to Wells. He brings the ball across midcourt. Forrest Davis down the middle. Nice pass to Darren Smith. Smith makes the layup. Good look by Forrest Davis. Big play for the Eagles. 33 seconds to go. It's up to 6 points again. Stankiewicz draws the lane, draws the foul in the lane, and a nice play by Wells. Wells says, look, Bruce, I'm going to foul you, but you're not going to make this one. He took the ball and Bruce Stankiewicz down to the ground. So no chance for a 3-point play there as Stankiewicz was looking for something as he went down to the baseline. Tried to come up underneath, get the ball to roll and maybe get a 3-point play out of it, but not to be. He does go to the line, however, makes the first. How many does that give Bruce Stankiewicz? 27. Wow.
That's the kind of scoring we're expected to see from him.
And he didn't score in the first quarter, I don't believe. Make it 28 points. Norristown's got to have somebody to bring the ball in here. Full court pressure. Timeout. Nice play by Kenny Cool. There was nobody open. Rather than turn the ball over there, he wisely calls timeout. Well, no time elapses, of course. 30 seconds to play in the game. And the Eagles still clinging to a 4-point lead. And now we see the full court pressure really for the first time in this game, Walt, in the last minute or so.
Obviously, that was great pressure by CB East because they didn't allow Norristown to get the ball in. And like you said, a very smart play by Ken Cool. You definitely don't want to turn it over when you're 4 points up.
.30 seconds to play. Of course, this game brought to you by the Norristown Area School District. I'm Jeff Brandon along with Walt Fry. bring you our final regular season game of the 1986-87 season. They get it into Smith. He gets it back to Poole. He's fouled. Bruce Stankiewicz commits the foul, and if you're going to have anybody at the line, it's Kenny Cool. Nice assist by Mark Perner of the Times Herald.
Saved us. Ball came flying over our heads. We didn't.
27 seconds to play. Cool got the ball into Darren Smith. Smith gave it right back to Cool on the give and go, and Stankiewicz immediately fouled him. Kenny Cool sinks the first one. That was a big bucket. 63-58 Norristown. Naked 64. Very big free throws for Norristown. Stankiewicz comes to the lane. Shots up, in and out, won't go. Darren Smith with the rebound. Ron Wells has the ball. They go to Terry Ellison. Ellison, in and out, won't go. Forrest Davis went sky high for that rebound. They have 3-on-1 pressure. They can't foul him. Cool has the ball, 5 seconds. And they finally foul him with 5 seconds to go. Did you see how far off the ground Forrest Davis was for that rebound? Oh,
he's only about 5'11", too. That was incredible.
Ronnie Wells did a nice job bringing the ball down the left side. He saw Terry Ellison flying down the right wing. He got it to him. Ellison went strong off the glass. It wouldn't go, and Forrest Davis went way up in the air to pull down that rebound, and he brought it right back out. Did a terrific job not to go out of bounds, first of all. Brought it right back out and hustled with the ball, got it off to Kenny Cool, and Cool makes 2 more big free throws.
That was what you call just great body control.
2 seconds. 1. Burns at the buzzer, won't go. Ball game's over. Norristown wins by 8, 66-58. A nice victory for the Norristown Eagles and John Cresswell, and for those seniors, their final game here on the Norristown High home court. Walt and I'll be back in just a moment with a wrap-up of tonight's ball game. I'm Jeff Brandon, and the final score, folks, 66-58. Norristown with a final victory here in their Suburban 1 League National Conference Colonial Division play. They round out their league season 12-4, and John Cresswell has to be pleased at the success of his Norristown Eagles this season, especially in Suburban 1 League play. A very impressive victory for Norristown tonight, and a very impressive game for Ron Wells. Wells finished tonight's game with 32 points. An absolutely phenomenal performance for that young man. And Stanley Brown, who left the ball game with about 7 or 8 minutes to play with a sore ankle, wound up with 4 points tonight, his final game as a senior here on the Norristown High home court. Ken Cool finished with 14 for Norristown and 4 big free throws down the stretch to put this game on ice for Norristown. All 4 of those points generated from the 1-and-1 situation, so very important that Cool was up to the pressure on the line. Terry Ellison had 5 points on the evening, Darren Smith 2, Joel Jones 2, and Forrest Davis with an impressive performance, especially in replacement of Stan Brown in the waning moments of this game. He finished with 7 points, and that last play by Davis was phenomenal. His leap was incredible. Would like to mention that all of the Norristown seniors did play tonight. They were Stan Brown, Terry Ellison, Ron Wells, Darren Smith, Forrest Davis, and Frank Arena. All of those fellows got in tonight's ball game, and we're glad to see that in this big Norristown victory. For the Central Bucks East Patriots, Bruce Stankiewicz, what a ball game. That fella didn't score in the first quarter, came on incredibly strong in the second half, finished with 28 points. Almost pulled this game out for Bob Walsh and the Patriots, but not to be here tonight, the Norristown High Gymnasium. Brian Burns from the point guard position had 4 points, really not a factor. Chris Naughton, 6 points late in the ball game from down low. John Cook scored his 6 points late in the game also, and Rick Candler had 12 points, 11 of them coming in that first half, so he was not a factor in the second half of play. Jason Criney off the bench with 2 free throws to round out the scoring for the Patriots. Bruce Stankiewicz was the Patriots ball game tonight, and Ron Wells was the Norristown ball game tonight, but give credit, a nice good defensive game from Norristown. Really not an ugly game at all. Neither team committed an overabundance of fouls, and I was very impressed with the way Norristown handled themselves tonight here for this final home game. I would like to mention the Norristown Eagles going into the district playoffs with a good record and probably a good seeding. So please pay attention to the local media for times and locations for playoff games, and come on out and support the Norristown Eagles as they go into the state and district playoffs. Once again, I'd like to thank the Norristown Area School District. They bring you all these games on the Norristown High Cable Channel. Especially I'd like to thank Mr. Tony Coy and Mr. Sam Galbraith, who come out here and produce and direct these programs for us. They do a fantastic job. I'd also like to thank all the folks who have worked on camera this season, Patty Logan, Andrea Fry. They've done fantastic work for us, and we appreciate their help as well. I'd also like to thank my colleagues, Walt Fry and Alan Raleigh, for making this season such an enjoyable one. It's been a pleasure to work with them, and I look forward to working with them in the years to come. Hopefully, we'll see how schedules work out for those fellas. For the Norristown Area School District, don't forget to stay tuned for important programming on their cable channel, not just sporting events, but educational programming as well. Once again, this game, a Norristown victory here at home to round out their season. They finished their league play 12-4. They finish with a fine record and 13-8 overall for this season. They had some early season losses, which contributed to that less than perfect overall record. But once again, let's keep in mind 12-4 in league play heading into the district playoffs. For Walt Fry and Alan Raleigh, I'm Jeff Brandon. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you hopefully later on this season. But if not, we'll see you next season. Take care, folks.